Hi there. This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about living longer with selenium and CoQ10. How does that relate? What gives? Well, it turns out telomere shortening is a big deal. If you look at the 14, 15 hallmarks of aging, one of them is your telomeres getting shorter. And the telomere is the nonsense DNA on the end of your coded section. And each time you duplicate that DNA, the protein that's duplicating it has so much distance to it, and it can't duplicate what's inside the enzyme. So that gets chopped off and makes the telomere a little shorter. You can only do that for so long before you run out of telomere. So that's an issue. All right. If you go to Sweden and look at, this is a study at 118 people in Sweden who were over age 65 and had glutathione in the 70 to 80 range. Quite low. Okay. They were given CoQ10 because that really helps your mitochondria be more efficient and pass on electrons safely so they don't escape and become reactive oxygen species. And you are dependent on glutathione to neutralize escaped electrons. And selenium is critical to making glutathione. It's part of the rate-limiting step of making your own glutathione. So taking those two together are going to help A, dampen your reactive oxygen species, and B, augment your glutathione. So when they followed these folks, they found out that they in fact had less telomere shortening, particularly in those who didn't die over the follow-up period of cardiovascular disease, such that in just 118 patients they got the statistical significance of benefit. That's huge when you're using such a tiny number of people and you get that much benefit. But it makes perfect sense now that we're beginning to understand the oxidative stress pathway that then ends up damaging plasmalogens, depleting plasmalogens. You basically die when your plasmalogens run out because every cell in your body is dependent on plasmalogens for proper function. And plasmalogens are depleted by runaway electrons that aren't dampened down and fixed with glutathione. So selenium and taking selenium and CoQ10 together, curiously, must be one of those little points on which the fulcrum on which the whole thing depends. Very interesting concept. I added CoQ10 back to my list of things I probably should be on. And actually, it's on GoodNow's list of things you should be on too. This is Dr. John Whitcomb for News and Nutrition. Live longer with CoQ10 and selenium.